We're going live. We're going live. Yay! Hello. Hi, everybody. I'm Amanda Call. I'm back. Last week, I didn't do a stream because I was camping. I was out in the wilderness with no internet. But this week, I have returned, and we're going to work on a new comic page. This is going to be one of my Age of Night pages. This is going to be chapter 27, page 14. I have my panel borders all laid out. I have one nice little perspective grid. Should be the only one that I need for this page. I have my thumbnails and my script off to the side here. I tried to get my camera to zoom in and it didn't do it. Let's see if we can fix that now that we're on the stream. Are you gonna work? No. You're not gonna. That's so strange. I don't know why YouTube refuses to let me zoom. It's very annoying. Hey, Hungry, thanks so much for joining me. So I guess you're just have this non-zoomed in view, I guess. I need to find a better position with my new rig because this is a little bit far away, but then when I put it in the other position, it's way too close. So, okay. We're gonna start. We'll have to deal with it just being a little bit of a pulled back view for tonight. So I have this stuff all laid out over here in my thumbnails. I have my script right here so I know what the thumbnails are doing. We're going to start with just throwing in some of these word balloons. Because I always make sure that I plan in where the word balloons are going to go from the very beginning so that I am not confused and missing space for them later. I do not want to run out of space. And then we're just going to kind of start doing some of the basic shapes. Did you and your family have a nice trip? Yes, we did. We had a really nice trip. It was the first time that we took the kids overnight camping in a tent out in the woods. They had never done that before. It was a pretty tame, easy to get to campground that's really well suited for families. A lot of people do go there with campers and stuff, but we were in a tent and the kids had a blast. They did not want to leave. They want to go back. It was fun. Hey, Jeffrey Rees, thanks so much for joining me. Hope you're having a good evening. Kind of a weird angle, trying to make this make sense. All right, that's more or less what's going on there. Hey, Spud, thanks so much for joining me. Oh, that's... my lighting is being annoying. Does that help if I pull that back a little bit? That might help. We'll try that. No, and then my hand makes it pull it back out. Fun. Okay. But yes, everybody had fun camping. Only a little bit of minor mishaps on the trip. First night we got there, I went to set up our little propane camp stove because it was kind of hot to be building a fire and cooking for every single meal. So we had the little camp stove, and I go pull it out and set it up, and it's not lighting. And I'm when I put in the when I screw on the canister, I hear it hissing, and I'm well, that's not supposed to happen. And I go to make sure that the burners are off all the way, and both of the knobs snap off. And I was excuse me, what? And so then I searched around for a pair of pliers in our car and eventually found one and made sure that they were turned off all the way. So I was cool, the knobs broke. That's great, but maybe we can still make it work. And then after I did that, I go to light the stove again. And when I go to put the propane cylinder all the way back on, then it's hissing even worse, and I'm like, "What the heck?" And I turn the thing over, and there's a great big hole in the gas line. And I'm just like, "Are you kidding me right now?" So, the first night we had peanut butter and jelly. Well, my mother-in-law made peanut butter and jelly for the kids while I ran back into town to get a camp stove that was not leaking propane everywhere. So that was an exciting start. Don't buy like Ozark Trail camp stoves. They suck. It was very cheap and with good reason apparently. All right. That's oh wow, this is so blown out. Come on. Come on. Will it help if I keep my hand there? Will you be able to see if I do this? So annoying. Okay. And we've got a whole bunch of word balloons over here. This is a whole bunch of talking. I want to make sure I have plenty of room for all of it. We've got this little element of the background helping to swing your eye back around and down like it's supposed to go. Got a cat loaf. Cat loaf. And we've got some shrubs and things. And trees and things. Shrubs and trees. There we go. This is a fairly simple page. Just one of these like conversation type pages. Which always is a challenge when you have a conversation between Drake and a person because like trying to get both of them in frame in a way that is not completely goofy looking can be a challenge because obviously cats and people are not the same size. Okay, so now the page is roughed in. Ta-da! So that took us like, oh, only like 10 minutes. Cool. Cool. Yay, we've got everything roughed in. Like I said, fairly simple page. It's just a conversation. I was using one type of blue pencil for the underdrawing, but this type is not really great. I don't like finishing the pencils in it because it does not erase super well. It was one that I bought while trying to look for a cheaper option, and it was not very good. So I've been using it for underdrawing, but not to finish the drawing off. So I'm going to take that out and swap it out. Because, yeah, let's see. The ones that I got that I'm just using for underdrawing right now, oh, there's nothing on the box. That's helpful. They came like this. I forget what brand they are, but the ones that I use and I really like are the Staedtler Mars Lumichrome, whatever. I don't know. These guys, they come like, you get like 3 of them in a tube, and no, 4 of them in a tube. You get 4 of them in a tube, and they're really nice, but they're kind of pricey. They do last pretty well because you're not like having to. I stopped getting the wood ones because I kept on like having them be broken all the way down through the wood. So that was extremely wasteful because you have no way of knowing that that's the situation as you're like sharpening and sharpening and sharpening, and this thing just keeps on disintegrating. It was maddening. But these last for a really long time because you can just hone the point. So you just lose a tiny little bit of it that you've shaved off, and then you're good to go. You don't waste a ton of it sharpening over and over again, especially when you have a crappy pencil around it. So, what is going on? What is happening in this? We're going to start trying to tighten up this underdrawing. How was everybody else's week last week? I feel like I haven't been here in forever, even though it's been 2 weeks. Free says lots of work travel, but have been catching up on podcasts. So that's good. Usually my major podcast listening time was while I was like walking the dog, but it's been really hot lately. And she's black, so the poor dog with like lots of she's a black labradoodle. She's like she can't be out in the day when it's hot out. She's got so much thick, curly, dark fur. She's super insulated, and she's still a puppy essentially, so she's not smart to like take it easy when it's hot. She's just like, I want to run, I want to go. It's like, well, we're not doing this. You're gonna like keel over on me. So I'll have to catch up when the weather cools off a little bit and I can walk the dog again. I'm listening to Old Gods of Appalachia while driving through parts of Appalachia. Nice. I have not ever listened to that one. I've heard it's really good, though. That's come very highly recommended. Alright, I've got a sad kitty face going on here. Okay, thankfully this seems to be showing up a lot better. See, my only reservation there with it being a horror anthology is that I'm a big wuss. I'm a huge baby when it comes to horror. Is that it's like, oh, if this is like, if it's not actually creepy, then I'm just like, well, that was silly. And then if it is actually creepy, like if it gets me good. And then I'm like, can't sleep. uh, I have been known to ruin my own sleep by reading horror stories before bed. And then being like, wow, cool, can't sleep now. That's great. Good call. Good job, Amanda. Got a cat loaf. Cat loaf. Okay, I think we've got a pretty good thing going here. I think now we can we've got this a lot tighter. This is looking a lot better, so we can start actually finishing it up and cleaning it up. Got my nice little eraser pencil here. This one is my favorite. I have several. This size I seem to use the most. What is going on? Why is your mouth not curving like I'm trying to get you to do? Love it when the drawing just does not cooperate. It's like, no, I'm just not going to do the thing you're trying to get me to do. Like, cool, thanks. All right, that's hair. More hair. Kamari's hair is always fun to draw. It's just like all over the place. Clean up some of this kind of all over the place lines. Make this look a little bit more cohesive here. Yeah, as you can see while I'm doing this, those like more purpley blue lines, they really don't want to erase. I've got to like really scrub at them to get rid of them. Whereas the like bright blue lines, they clean up a lot easier. So, oh well. All right. Clean up Drake's little face here. Oh, that's a distressed little cat face. He says, I am having a distress. Which, if you're caught up on the comic right now, you might have an idea what that's about. The events of last chapter were pretty distressing. I won't say anything more than that in case you aren't caught up, but last chapter was upsetting for Drake especially. Poor guy. Having a hard time. I do try to not have anything that's happening on any of these pages that I do on the stream be like too spoilery. So even if you're a little bit behind in the comic, that you aren't just like, oh, now that's completely ruined. I mean, if you're a lot behind, then I don't know what to tell you. But I've got some shrub situation going on over here. Shrub. Okay, yay, we have a panel done. Hooray. What is going on? The music I'm listening to is just like randomly cutting out at different points. I don't know if that's intentional or not. It's weird. Alright, what's going on? So this part of the reason why I have my script right here is also so I can like look over and check, be like, what is this face that that he should be making? What is he saying? What is happening? Okay. It's like I have my barely comprehensible thumbnail scribbles, but since they're so very tiny, sometimes I don't have enough information in them to really go off of without referring back to the script. Oh, so upset. Distressed cat. Get out of here, Eraser Crumb. That ear ended up being a little bit big. I'm doing a cat loaf, so it's like trying to get that angle of like where is his head and his body overlapping here. He's kind of like, he's a loaf. He's being a loaf. You know, where cats like tuck their little feet underneath them. Can I start over? No. Thanks for joining me, Story Comic, but I don't believe I'll be starting over. I will remind people what we're doing here. I'm working on a page from my webcomic Age of Night. I started with just the panel borders on this page. We've roughed in everything, and I've gotten the first panel penciled. Grass, line in the grass. So yeah, that's what this is. Now we have the first 2 panels penciled. Hooray! Now we can move on to the next tier. I think I need to sharpen my pencil. Yeah, sorry, I'm not gonna redo the entire first half of my stream. Hold on while I just erase everything and start over. Don't worry, the stream will still be available on my channel. They stay up. I don't delete them or anything. So if you want to go back and watch, like, I don't know, probably hundreds of these darn things at this point, you sure can. You have to go and look. I don't know how many live streams I've done at this point. I've been doing this for
Wow.
Several years now. Probably a couple hundred by now.
Wow. I have no idea.
If I'm getting about, like, I miss a couple weeks throughout the year, so if I'm getting like an average of 50 a year, then yeah, I probably have around 200 by now. I'll have to look. I'm curious.
I don't remember exactly when you started.
Well, I started them on Facebook. Like, I started doing them on Facebook on the Age of Night page, and then Facebook changed their like live algorithm thingy at the time, and they like completely buried them, so I stopped doing them over there and I just started doing them on YouTube. So I don't remember exactly when I made that transition. So maybe there's not quite that many on YouTube yet. But I do remember that one of the earlier streams I missed because we were taking the cat to the vet when he had his stupid bladder issue for being
I can't be asked to drink water.
For refusing to drink water. My cat had to go to the vet shortly after we first adopted him because he couldn't be bothered to drink water. Dummy. It's like, what? Why would I drink water? Why would I want to do that? I am listening to music. Sorry if I occasionally get quiet. 206 total videos posted, not all weekly drawings. Oldest post just 3 years ago. Okay, so that's about when I made the transition over. Okay, thanks for looking that up, Spud. I did do quite a few other like pre-recorded videos, but I haven't done any of those in a while. They were draining my will to live. That eyebrow got a little out of control. Get back here, eyebrow. You're going a little bit wild. Yes, so occasionally I do just stop speaking because I'm concentrating, and also I have music playing in headphones, so it's easy for me to like space out. So sorry. But also I was trying to get Kamaria's face just right here, so I don't know if you might be able to hear a tiny bit of it coming through, because I do leave the headphones like half on, like I'm some kind of cool DJ. Just because otherwise I will absolutely stop speaking. Be in my own little sensory deprivation chamber over here and not talk to anyone. So. What is this? What is that line? What is happening here? clean some of this underdrawing up and get it out of my way so I can see what I'm doing better. All right, yay! There's Kamaria's face. Nice little reaction panel of like, you said what now? What is that you were saying? Where are we at on time? 37 minutes. We are doing great. Doing great on time here. Okay. So now we're going to move over. So even though this is a conversation page and these characters are just kind of like the focus of this whole scene, and this page is it especially, but like pretty much all the pages in this sequence, it's just these two characters talking, right? So the focus is their expressions, their body language, like the information that is in the speech bubbles of what they're saying to each other and everything. But you don't want to fall into this habit of just like only showing their faces and only showing them talking and having it be like, wait, where are we? do we still exist, or are we floating in the void? So I like to pull back at least once per page and give a wide view of like, hey, this is where we are. It does help to also just break up the page, because here you've got like medium shot, close up, long shot, where you've got the whole scene, both characters' complete bodies, and then we're gonna have another like close up and then another medium. So it helps to break up and not have the page be too monotonous, but it also helps to reestablish like, oh yeah, this is where this is happening. We're not just kind of existing in the void. This is like apparently a thing that people get really mad about when you're like, hey, draw backgrounds occasionally. Like, they don't all have to, not every panel has to have some huge super rendered background, but occasionally it's good to, remind your reader where things are happening, that the world exists. Some people get real mad when you tell them that. And again, it's not like it has to be like super detailed or anything. And you definitely don't have to do like a super detailed background, or even like any background every panel. Like, there's no background here, there's not going to be one here. There's only the barest suggestion of one in these couple of panels and in this panel. So you can get away with a lot of not drawing backgrounds, but it's really helpful to occasionally establish that the world exists. All right, we'll do the rest of that background in a moment. We're gonna make these figures make a little bit more sense first. Start fleshing out these stick figures into mannequins. Don't like how that's going. Let's fix that. What's happening here? There we go. That's better. I gotta sharpen again. Looking kind of stubby for doing a tiny figure like that. All right. And I really like her little, I really like Kamaria's little sleeve cap type things on her vest. I think they look really cool, but they suck to draw. Every time I have to draw them, I'm like, oh, this was a stupid decision. It's like getting the angle just so on them so that they don't look completely goofy and wrong is a challenge. A perpetual challenge. Try to get these tiny little details on this tiny little figure. I'm trying not to, it's so easy to accidentally completely mess up your proportions when you're doing a smaller figure like this. So the challenge is keeping the figure looking the way they're supposed to. Not letting them get away from you. Because you just get you're doing oh, I'm doing this tiny little part, and then I'm doing this tiny little part, and then you pull back and it's oh, they're very not the right proportioned. Their legs are 3 times bigger than they're supposed to be, or their head is super tiny or something, It's just very easy to do when you're dealing with something so tiny and worrying about all these minute little details. We gotta get the cat loaf in there. Cat loaf. All right, we're gonna have a shrub over here. Gonna have another shrub over here. Shrubby bits. We're going to have some more of this tall grass over here. A lot of this is going to get covered by word balloons, so I'm not going too crazy on the detail, just kind of trying to get an idea of where this stuff is going to go. This can be some more grass over here. And then we've got a tree. And then we've got some other trees. And there's more grass back here behind some of the trees. And some shrubs. And more trees. Which again, this is all going to be very, very minimal on detail when we get to it. But just to kind of show that, yes, that stuff is there. Okay. Yay. Oh, no, wait. I need to draw some water. Water. We'll do a little rock right here. Have a little broken section there. All right, there we go. Yay. So that's 2 tiers done. We're at 8:49, so we've got about 10 minutes left. I'm going to keep working here, and I'm going to start doing my YouTube things of reminding you that I'm Amanda Call. This is a page from my webcomic, Age of Night. You can read Age of Night at ageofnight.com. That's AGEOFNIGHT.com. I do have a TikTok. I do have a TikTok story comic. I haven't updated it in like a week because I just have not been in the mood for that silliness. But yes, I have a TikTok. It is the same as my Instagram art. It's just my name with the word art after it. I also have a Twitter at Age of Night, spelled the same way as the comic. Age of Night also has a Facebook page, if you would like to follow the Facebook page. If that's like a thing for you. All of Age of Night is available to read for free at ageofnight.com. I update every Wednesday. However, even though you can read the whole thing for free, if you would like to help support me, there's lots of ways you can do that. You can become a patron over at patreon.com/ageofnight. Again, spelled the same as the comic, AGEOFNIGHT. Patrons always get their comic pages a week early. You get to see all sorts of cool behind-the-scenes stuff and get free comics and just all sorts of cool stuff. And it helps support me, which I really appreciate. You can buy copies of the first 3 volumes of Age of Night. They're available on Amazon, on DriveThruRPG, DriveThruComics, and DriveThruFiction. They're available from buying them from me in person at events as well. So options. You can also, if you want to, support me on Ko-Fi if you want to do just like a one-off donation type thing, a small donation. I also have kind of like a little shop on Ko-Fi as well. So if you want like stickers or prints or stuff like that, or mini comics, there's that too. Is that all the things? I don't know. I might have forgotten some things. I think that's probably all the things. If you like to watch me draw and talk while I'm doing it, then you should definitely like this video, subscribe to this channel. I do these art streams just about every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern, with rare exception, like when I'm going camping. But obviously that doesn't happen most of the year. A rare summertime interruption, and we have the weather for it. Sad cat. Sad kitty. Right. That's pretty much it for that panel. So I guess I'm going to move on to working on this one while I get through the last few minutes of the clock here. Events coming up in a couple of weeks. I will be at the Newton Presbyterian Church in Newton, Massachusetts for an art show where a bunch of us will be. It's free. It's a free art show. I think it's like noon to 4. And basically it's just a bunch of different artists showing off their art and discussing how faith and their interpretation of it is relevant to their art, which I have a comic about the literal gods walking around amongst people, so that seemed relevant, right? It should be a good time. The organizer is another comic writer, Jack Holder, who is a very good dude, and I'm sure we'll have a good time. So if you're in the Newton, Massachusetts area, you should come check it out. That'll be the 20th of August. I don't remember if I actually said that or not. I might not have. Might not have actually given you the date of the event I was talking about. After that, then it will be about a month later, will be GraniteCon in Manchester, New Hampshire, which I should also be at. Sad cat face. Vegas. Is that what people call Manchester? That seems like a very weird thing to call Manchester, New Hampshire, but I don't live there, so what do I know? I've only ever been there for GraniteCon, and I've always had a good time, so I probably do not have a complete picture of what that town is like. Only being there for events. All right, we are super close to being done with penciling this page, so this one is only going to take us a little over an hour to pencil, so that's pretty cool. I only have this little corner over here, just one more figure to finish, but I'm at less than 5 minutes left, so we're going to call it here for this evening. So we started with just some empty panel borders and one perspective grid. Over the course of this hour, we roughed everything in. We have completed 5 panels and are most of the way through a 6th. So next week at 8 p.m. we are going to be continuing on with this page. Come and join me then. Thanks so much, everybody, for coming and hanging out with me this evening. Bye.